It's World Meteorological Day and the theme is Understanding Clouds. Hello and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Right here in Jamaica, we have some people who can just look at the clouds and tell you if it's going to rain and where it will fall. And surprisingly or not, the predictions are often correct, unless nature has other plans. Today, we're not exactly looking at the clouds, but we're stopping by the Meteorological Service of Jamaica to see how the professionals go about predicting the weather. We also talk achievements in education by the government and more focus on the Jamaica Library Service. First up is the news of the day.
Let's get a little breeze on this land. All right. Now let's get some bounce in the rhythm. All right. Let's get some fire on our hearts. Now that is what we call all right. Run, come, get some Jamaica.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh and this is your JIS News for Thursday, March 23. Jamaicans aged 19 to 24 years who are not employed or enrolled in school or in any training program are poised to benefit from a new job opportunity project. Prime Minister Andrew Holness unveiled the Housing Opportunity, Production and Employment HOPE project during his budget presentation this week. It will be administered by the newly merged Heart Trust NTA, NYS and JFLL along with the Apprenticeship Board. A comprehensive system of National Service Corps will be developed to provide skills training, apprenticeship, personal development, and volunteerism opportunities for young people. 7 National Service Corps have already been identified.
The total number that we are looking for, that we have found space for, is 15,000, and that will start this year. And we will be working with the private sector to see how the synergies can be exploited. My view is that by the end of this year, we should be able to have at least 25,000 youngsters in work opportunities.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is insisting that the new crime-fighting legislation he introduced this week does not seek to give the security forces powers equivalent to that of a state of emergency. While making his budget presentation on Tuesday, Mr. Holness tabled the Zones of Special Operations, Special Security and Community Development Measures Act 2017. It gives the Prime Minister powers to declare any high-crime area of Jamaica a special security and community development zone. But Mr. Holness says the bill has a built-in accountability framework for the security forces.
The bill actually states that a joint command is to be established between our two security forces. The persons who will be assigned the command must be trained in human rights, use of force, and community building.
The National Security Council will also frequently review and monitor the Joint Command's operations and intervene immediately if things go awry. But the Prime Minister stresses that the intervention is not relying solely on security measures to normalize communities with elevated crime levels.
The history of such interventions show that they may bring short-term relief, but the communities ultimately will go back to elevated crime levels if we do not restore community leadership and organization, provide basic needs, improve infrastructure, and provide education and training and attachment for the young people. And this is what this bill is designed to do.
Mr. Holness was speaking on Wednesday during a post-budget press conference at Jamaica House. The Ministry of Health expects to receive the engineering design proposals for the ventilation system at Caenwood Regional Hospital very soon. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says 6 contracting firms that have expressed interest have been given 2 weeks to respond with their proposals.
At that point, we will decide which is best suited, and they'll be given a few months to go in and to redesign the system that is to be installed.
The minister was touring West Jamaica Conference Center, where some of the hospital services have been temporarily relocated, while the air quality issues are addressed. He said the relocation was progressing smoothly, without much inconvenience to patients.
I could see us over the next number of weeks into a month becoming a lot more able to deal with the demands on the system, given all that is taking place and what is left to take place to facilitate the process.
In other health news, the ministry has rolled out a national dental sealant program to prevent tooth decay among basic and primary school children. It was launched at the Clancarty Primary School this Tuesday. There and at other schools, students will receive dental examination and have fluoride varnish and sealants applied to their teeth. It is expected to benefit 40,000 children across the island.
We're starting with about 30% of the age cohort, the 12-year-olds. Over time, the intention is to expand that across the entire country.
And finally, an 8-foot statue of track and field star Usain Bolt is on schedule for completion in time for Jamaica's 55th independence celebrations this August. The statue, which is being created by sculptor Basil Watson, was commissioned by the Sport Ministry as one of 4 to honor some of Jamaica's greatest contemporary track athletes. Sport Minister Olivia Grange says that once it's completed, the statue of Bolt will be mounted in the Statue Park at the Independence Park Complex in Kingston.
We are on schedule to complete this statue by Independence and to have the mounting coincide with Bolt's final World Championships in London.
The Sport Minister was speaking at the recent press launch of the Jamaica National Racers Grand Prix. Government has pledged $200,000 through the Sports Development Foundation to support the June 10 event. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Increased funding and nutritional support for schools and providing alternative pathways to education were some of the government's achievements under the Education, Youth and Information portfolio last year. Let's find out more.
Minister of Education, Youth and Information, Senator the Honorable Ruel Reid, speaks about achievements under his ministry. Welcome, I'm Ian Boyne. Minister, let's begin with increased funding for primary and secondary schools.
Well, yeah, the government did make a promise to increase funding to our education institutions, and we are happy to know that we have delivered on those promises. We have increased the budget for the secondary system from $2.6 billion to $5.3 billion for the school year. What is interesting also is that we're also able to pay these funds to these schools way ahead of schedule, way ahead of the norm for the first time in our history. First tranche was paid in June of 2016, second tranche in September 2016, and ahead of schedule in December, we actually paid that in November, and we expect the other tranches to be paid April of this year. So we introduced a non-compulsory contributory policy that allowed parents to continue to make contributions, those who were able to do so and minded, but there was no requirement for them to have made a payment. So our policy is free access to every child in Jamaica, no barriers to entry. We are also able to increase funding to our primary schools by over 42% in terms of their regular grant. You've also heard about our increased allocation for PATH, so we are now on the program where our PATH students now are able to get 5 days of lunch. So, you know, we are very, very, very happy with our achievement in terms of the increased funding to our schools.
And was the ministry also able to take up staff costs to do better in terms of dealing with the staff costing issues?
Absolutely, and a number of those schools, you know, were forced to ask for contribution from parents previously under the auxiliary policy. What we did was to scan those schools and see where they had staff that were not on the establishment, and we took on the payment of those personnel and relieved those schools of the need to request funding. So overall, the schools are in a much stronger financial position than they have ever been before.
How well did you do in terms of infrastructural development?
Well, infrastructure, that was fantastic. It was a short time that we had to work, but credit to my team, we delivered on improving, upgrading infrastructure of over 200 schools that we were able to impact in that short period, spending over $709 million. We were able to take 34 schools that were on shift school off shift school.
Shift system, yeah.
34. We only have 42 more left to be taken off within the next 3 years. So we've been doing very, very well on that score.
In terms of the alternate pathways to education program, how well did the government perform in that?
Well, that program actually was part of the Education System Transformation Program, ESTP, and this was a very important, adjustment to our education system, and that is also part of my extension of the school period from 5 years to 7 years. And we have transitioned from the ASTP program now to the alternate pathway in secondary education, also came with the national standards curriculum. Because what that is seeking to do is to understand special needs, understand that each child is unique, and provide alternate pathways for those children to continue their education, whether they want to pursue the traditional educational opportunities or other programs.
The CAP program, Minister.
The CAP program, we rolled that out and expanded that in September. Over 7,600 students are now enrolled in that program. We have committed over $700 million this year for that program. We had a first graduation in December of over 1,000 students in that program, and they're doing extremely very well. And we have since then rolled out another program that is a continuation in terms of the high level, which is now moving through CAP to what we now call occupational degrees. And these degrees will allow them to have the specialist training so they can easier transition into the world of work.
Minister, achievements in the area of youth policy, youth development.
Well, we have now merged the portfolios of education and youth. So frankly, almost everything we are doing in education is for the youth. But when you look at that segment of, let's say 15 to 29 as that distinct group, what we did this year, for example, is roll out for the first time our National Youth Advisory Council. And in addition to all the other youth activities, that particular council, we are going to mainstream it so that the youth can have a strong voice, that they will be able to assist and inform policy. We know what their issues are, and we are going to make sure that we collaborate with them. We also were able to roll out in the Youth Month the National Youth Parliament, which was a great success. And we just want to reorganize all our programs going forward to make sure that the youth are at the center of the programs that we are delivering, because after all, the youth are our future, and we have to take care of them, empower them as they transition into this new age of the fourth industrial revolution.
Minister, back to education specifically,
yes.
What is being done to better prepare our students for the CXC examination, for their performance after secondary school?
Well, we believe in proper preparation for proper presentation. We had some issues in math last year, and we have a focused program to make sure we work with our teachers, and most importantly, we work with our students directly. So we have special workshops for them, special exam preparation sessions where they actually do past papers, and we properly prepare them for the upcoming exams.
Finally, Minister, in the area of information,
yes.
How has the government dealt with this, as the government had the openness
yes.
to media and has emphasized this?
Well, we came in as a government who believe in communication, openness and transparency. And, we have been relentless across all ministries to make sure our ministers are available, that information is out there from all ministries in terms of what the ministers are doing, what the ministries are doing. We've had a regular post-cabinet briefing, and we're very strong in all forms of media, social media and traditional media. So overall, the communication policy that we articulated very early to our ministers and cabinet having endorsed it, I am very, very happy that we have done excellently in executing on that policy.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Minister of Education, Youth and Information, Senator Ruel Reid, speaking about achievements under his ministry.
No, son. A verb is an action word.
Parents need to become more involved in their children's education.
Parents are the first and in many cases the most important teachers.
Read with your children. Review their schoolwork. Visit their school.
Tapping and rapping and slapping, I said.
Nice! High five! Woo!
A good education will never decay.
Up next, we continue the spotlight on the services of the Jamaica Library Service.
The St. Mary Parish Library is strategically located at the historic Claude Stewart Park, which was named after the late Claude Stewart, a former Member of Parliament and Minister of Health. This park also stands as a testament to the service of the great men of yesterday, from Taki, who led the rebellion of enslaved Africans in 1760, to victims of World War I and II.
The St. Mary Parish Library is a network of 9 libraries. The Parish Library, which is located in Port Maria, there are 8 branch libraries. I think for St. Mary, what distinguishes us is our excellent customer service that we provide to the public.
To maintain their excellent customer service record, the St. Mary Parish Library has forged a number of partnerships that helps to promote visibility and sustainability.
The St. Mary Advocacy Committee, it acts as a voice for the sustainability of the parish, the libraries within the parish, and it assists in affording persons to be more knowledgeable of the activities that goes on at the library.
The St. Mary Parish Library Network also cultivates an attitude of volunteerism to strengthen its service offerings to the public. One example of this is its story hour sessions that are heavily dependent on volunteers.
Show me 5 fingers.
I'm 5 years old.
Beautiful.
I'm 5 years old. I'm 5 years old.
Beautiful. Fingers and lips again.
You realize that reading to children, working with children, you have to be a real person, a person with love and understanding and patience. You have to be able to multitask. At the end of it, you feel very satisfied in that we know that many of our children will go home to places where nobody reads for them. And as a result, it is important that we do that for them here.
The Jamaica Library Service, through the Global Libraries ICT project, has been invaluable to both expanding the ICT resources within the various public libraries across Jamaica, as well as the offering of free computer training.
Through the Global Libraries ICT project, the St. Mary Parish Libraries and its 8 branches have received 61 computers, which are used to deliver computer training to the public. These computer training are given to 6 categories. You have the early childhood level, the primary level, secondary level, unattached youths and adults, as well as senior citizens.
These additional ICT resources have enabled library users to interface with the services provided across the network.
It has helped me because it has empowered me to be able to use technology while maintaining business etiquette on social media to reach a wider audience of people.
As a mainstay in the community, the library is integral to the research and educational pursuits of the student population.
I've been using the St. Mary Parish Library services for a number of years. I mainly use it for homework assignments, like for example SBAs. I come here, I use the internet, and it has been very helpful because without it, trust me, I would not be able to have completed all my assignments.
This library has helped us to be productive students where we can come here and do our homework, our SBAs. The staff is very good here and we do enjoy it. We can use the Wi-Fi on our phones, on our tablets.
Neighboring communities, we now invite you to become a member of any of the public libraries within the St. Mary Parish Library Network and enjoy their new programs and services. This is where we leave you for this episode of the JLS Spotlight. In the next feature, we take you to the St. Anne Parish Library Network.
We want a productive Jamaica. We all are productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, pathway to prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
As we observe World Meteorological Day, let's look at how the Met Service monitors the clouds and uses other devices to make predictions of weather conditions.
Of course, all eyes are on Hurricane Ivan at this time, where we see that we are on the outer fringe of the system. Some of the bands are spilling some showers over the Jamaica area. Just a warning that this thing is actually coming across the area.
A television broadcast of national importance. A critical prediction that possibly saved lives and property. A prediction that came at the end of a process that began with some pretty sophisticated technology.
Weather forecasting is trying to determine the changes in the atmosphere.
Several methods are applied to gather weather data, from simple observation.
It's critical to assess the clouds because the cloud is one of the most important elements of determining a forecast.
To the use of satellites, radars, buoys, and weather aircraft. Forecasters from around the world share information generated by advanced computer software and remote sensing equipment, such as this automatic weather station. Working together, data is synchronized or matched, making it possible to predict the weather from virtually anywhere in the world. Weather collecting devices like buoys, which are equipped with special sensors and networked to computer software, are strategically placed and anchored along the seas or left to drift in response to ocean currents and winds. These networks of buoys provide forecasters with hourly updates on marine measurements related to wind conditions, barometric pressure, air and sea surface temperatures, as well as wave data. The Doppler radar is another useful tool. Radar stands for radio detection and ranging, and it works based on a series of principles named for Austrian physicist Johann Christian Doppler. This sophisticated instrument allows forecasters to monitor the speed and direction of severe weather systems. Data from all sources are fed to central points for analysis and comparison, and are shared all over the world.
In doing that, we are able to produce what we call a synoptic chart. In producing this chart, it gives us a picture of what is happening across Jamaica and the region. Region here meaning the Caribbean area. After we do that, then we also look at what we call weather prediction models. These models enable us to determine what is going to happen in the future. What we do with the model is that we make an analysis of the model and we make a comparison between the model forecast and what we had done on the synoptic chart.
At this stage, a determination can be made as to what will happen over the next 12 to 24 hours with an outlook for up to 5 days.
In looking at the information, then we determine what the features are and what the influence of these features would be across Jamaica, which would indicate if the day is going to be cloudy, if it's going to be fair, or we expect showers, thunderstorm, or a very windy day.
From the more urgent situations, such as an approaching hurricane, to the less crucial, like where to go for a sunny vacation, news on the weather is always useful. And very important for fishermen and others who must navigate the seas for a living.
We also issue marine products, so persons who are going out to sea would know what the conditions will be across the seas. We have aviation products that are issued specifically to aviation users that would enable them to make a safe flight.
This is a live feed from the runway. So all the information that is displayed here is what's happening currently on the runway, and this is what is critical to all the airlines.
Information on climatic conditions is also provided to farmers and persons in construction, as well as those doing research on the environment. So the next time you see this,
some scattered shower activity over some coastal areas on the northern side of the island.
Remember, weather prediction isn't a guessing game. It's a scientific process involving sophisticated technology, providing useful information for industry, for research, for disaster management, and for life.
All residents immediately evacuate the area.
Terrible storms, drought, food shortages. Climate change is real. We can't stop it, but we can slow it down. Conserve water, plant trees, recycle, practice rainwater harvesting, use good agricultural practices. Contact the Climate Change Division at 906-0724 for more information.
I leave you with this quote to think on. Being challenged in life is inevitable. Being defeated is optional. So muster up that spirit of perseverance and determination to achieve the things you want in life. Jamaica Magazine will be on again tomorrow, but as usual, we ask that you stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm, and keep sending your feedback to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JIS News. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.